En fait, ma journée, je le débute, je commence ma journée je me réveille aux environs des 4 heures du matin. Et des 4 heures du matin, dès que je me réveille, ça dépendrait aussi de schedule, Si l'endroit est à proximité de mon lieu, de ma maison, donc je me réveille peut-être à 4 heures, tantôt à 3h30. Je prends mon petit déjeuner. C'est pas un petit déjeuner, mais pour éviter un peu la famine ou la faim à l'endroit de travail, je commence comme ça. Moi, je travaille à Coca-Cola, je suis merchandise. J'ai obtenu ce travail il y a une année de cela déjà. Et voilà, nous prenons le produit et on essaye de prendre ces produits qui sont installés par les conducteurs des tracks. On les prend, on les installe dans des lieux appropriés dans le supermarché. Voilà, c'est en fait un tout petit peu dans le monde détail, c'est que j'exerce comme travail chez Coca-Cola. Voilà. Et je commence dès 5 heures du matin, jusqu'à peut-être à midi, parfois 14 heures. Et des fois, j'ai trop de heures supplémentaires, voilà, c'est comme ça. Je rentre à la maison et je m'occupe de ma petite famille. Voilà.
When coming here, the first thing that surprised me when getting on the plane, I was surprised by the temperature which was on the plane. It was very, very, very cold. And it was very difficult to change it because that was set from the beginning. Then when I got out of the plane, it was even colder than in the plane. So I was acquainted step by step with this temperature, to which I was not accustomed.
So when you first arrive in the United States, you'll be picked up from the airport, and there will be a case manager assigned to your case to pick you up and take you directly to your home.
Nilifurahia na kupokelewa, tulipokelewa kwa sababu tulipokelewa vizuri. Kwanza njoo ilikuwa surprise kwa sababu sikutegemea kwamba Marekani kuna watu wazuri na kuna watu wana roho nzuri. Lakini kweli tulifika, tuliona kweli ilikuwa surprise ya mimi kuona kwamba nilipokelewa vizuri.
The first week when families come here are pretty overwhelming. When a family arrives, we pick them up at the airport and bring them back to their housing. Sometimes it's a temporary housing situation, sometimes it's a permanent housing situation. And so we allow them to have a little bit of time, if they're hungry, to be able to sit down and eat. It also gives us a time to visit and get to know each other just a little bit. And then we go through the house to make sure that there's a clear understanding of what all the appliances are used for. And they can keep warm, and they know how to be able to use the stove to prepare their food and those types of things. So this is the temperature control. What this does, it regulates the heat and it regulates the air conditioning. During the summer, during the winter, you'll turn this to heat. It gets very cold.
I was first introduced to our house, our apartment here. I was very happy because almost all the equipment was inside. We had the fridge, you could have the stove.
We teach you how to use some appliances in your home, just to welcome you, to make you feel that you're not going to a desert, you're going to a place where there's life. Then the following day, case manager will come to visit you, to do a home visit, to see how you're doing. And then there's a number of appointments that come up. The first appointment will be the intake. The intake will be at the refugee agency office. You meet with your case manager again. You go over a lot of paperwork. They tell you the expectations. what the services they'll be offering, the timeline for the services.
So when clients arrive, case managers get a lot of information about them prior to arrival. And so I understand how difficult it is to trust someone that you just meet. We want to earn families' trust. We understand that that doesn't come easily or freely, and we really work to establish that. It's really important to have that good communication with your case manager. Self-sufficiency to the agency means that along this journey, we are teaching clients how to do things for themselves.
Oh, you have your green card, your permanent residence, that's great.
And in the end, we're here to help and educate. But in the end, we want families to be financially self-sufficient, which means they're not dependent on public programs, and that all of the basic needs that they're learning along the way, that they're able to obtain those on their own.
All right, it was good to see you.
Good to see you too.
All right, congratulations on your green card.
Thank you.
Refugees who are coming from different camps or sites, when you get into the United States, you get welcomed by refugee resettlement sites where they're gonna guide you through the whole process of getting help in terms of your health.
When refugees arrive in the U.S., they come to our visit for a medical screening process. At the first appointment, we draw blood to check lab work on a lot of different things. They get immunizations, and we ask them questions about their medical health history. They will also meet with one of our social workers to see if there are additional needs we can help with.
Okay, I'd like to start by checking your blood pressure, Angela.
Their second visit is with a medical doctor who will go over all of their lab results and do a full medical exam so that we can help them establish care with a doctor.
Your blood pressure is 110/70, which is very good.
They're gonna do some tests. Don't be afraid of those tests. They are normal tests. We've been through that. I mean, I'm talking to you. I've been through that as well. It's a TB test. Your children are gonna benefit from immunization, all the vaccine that they didn't get during the period that you've been in a camp or any site. And then they're gonna test for intestinal parasitis. They're gonna test for hepatitis, just to prevent you from getting sick.
So we have all refugees, when they arrive, meet with one of our social workers to see if there are any additional needs that we can help with. It's very common when people are arriving in a new country, in a new culture, to have a lot of different emotions that they are going through. This is true particularly for people coming from areas of violence or people who've been separated from their home or families. So there are ways that we can help, and we have people meet with the social worker to see what ways we can start to help them work through those emotions.
If somebody is feeling sad or just feeling like overwhelmed with life here, I think it is an important thing to be able to reach out and look at what options are out there. And that does mean stepping sometimes out of your comfort zone. So we have a group of Congolese women who meet every day, and they come to the office, they clock in, and every day is a different schedule. Something's different on the schedule. So 3 days of the week is usually practicing English, but it could be practicing communication skills. It can also be talking about daycare options. So we might be discussing and problem solving, because a lot of the solutions are going to come from inside.
Njewe navuye muri Burundi ndashika muri Amerika. Nagenda mugabo nari mfise nari mufakazi. Ndaje n'abana 6, abahungu 4 n'abakobwa 2. Muri Amerika ifise ifamiye nyinshi zitandukana ama nationalité. Ukasanga twese tuhuriye ngaha, ariko kubera agence ibazana ibashira hamwe, ibahamagara ku mashure, kabashirira amashure mwigako kwigisha ikingereza, mukaza mukasanga mwese muhuriye hajya kubera mutafisi ururimi rumwe, ariko kavuga ingorane yawe undi akakubwira nanje ni gutya agence rero irabashira hamwe ikababwira mu buzima nga muri Amerika ni gutya nifise ingene yo kubafasha irabafasha mwese ikabareka ko ubuzima bwa muri Amerika ni gutya. Njewe nga muri Amerika handuba ntwaye naronse umushisi ava muri South Africa ariko mukongomani yavuye mu Bukavu yashise nga muri Amerika ndamubonye ko nabonye umutoyi wanje cyangwa umukuru wanje gushika n'ubu niyo nshuti fise nga muri Amerika niwe mama niwe mutoyi wanje ingorane yose ndayimutura.
Congo is a multi-ethnic country. We have over 250 ethnic groups. As the leaders, we are trying to help people understand that we all can live together as a community. And if we decide to resettle in the United States of America, we can live here peacefully and build a safer community. We've done a great job here trying to advocate and trying to bring this social awareness, trying to tell people to preach them a message. The message we preach them is unity and love. So we have to love others, we have to accept others. It doesn't matter who they are.
Ready? 0. 12. 19. 18.
Pour moi, pour les enfants, pour l'école, ici aux États-Unis, c'est bien. Parce que le matin, il y a le bus qui vient prendre les enfants. Et puis les enfants partent à l'école dans le bus. Ils reviennent aussi dans le bus. Et puis, bon, pour moi, ici, les études aux États-Unis, c'est bien. C'est bien. Parfois, l'enfant ne part pas à l'école. Il y a l'école qui appelle les parents. Mais pourquoi l'enfant n'est pas parti?
So children, they don't grow by themselves. Parents have a responsibility. Back in Africa, where you come from, children can be raised by anybody in the community. They belong to the village, they belong to the society or the community, which is not the case here. Over here, parents need to put some work. They need to insist, being there for their children, communicating the value, reminding their children. Unless they do that, the children may end up in bad company.
Many families come from countries where it's sort of understood that when children are in school, it's the teacher's responsibility to take care of them. But here in the US, we really believe that parents should be partners in their children's education. And we want parents to feel welcome in the school building at any time. And so we encourage them to meet their teachers, to come to parent-teacher conferences, to ask questions about their children's homework. If they don't understand something that's going on in school, we really want them to come and ask for help on understanding what's going on in the classroom.
Moi, à l'école, j'aime beaucoup de choses parce qu'on mange bien, il n'y a pas de tribalisme. Tous les gens là-bas sont mes amis. On joue, donc toutes les choses on fait là-bas. Donc, tout j'aime. L'Amérique, j'aime beaucoup parce que tous les gens sont frits ici.
Yeah. J'ai des amis, des blancs, des noirs, ça. Tout ça. Tous sont mes amis, c'est ma... Donc, si à propos des amis à Bora, il y en a beaucoup des amis et ils sont simples. Je l'aime, ils m'aiment aussi. Yeah, comme ça.
My favorite subject is like mathematics, history, biology, and the critical reading. English right now is a little better, but the first one was coming to America. My English will be a little level. My advice, if somebody need to come to America, they need to know English, to study English, because to America, English is very important.
Well, adjusting to school was hard, I won't lie, because in Africa, you stay in one class and you don't like move around, you just sit in the one class, the teachers come in and goes out. I'll be honest, I was like late, like the first like week I was late every day because I had to like find my classes. Well, it was hard getting used to, I missed my family a lot, and me being separated from them, that was really hard because that's all I had. Like, my brother was like my parent since I was like 2. Well, my advice, telling other foster kids that are coming here is that study hard. That's obviously number 1. And focus. That's number 2. And then just like interact with everybody. When you go to school, don't be like sit by yourself at the lunch table, and just like go in with everybody and introduce yourself. And yeah, that's the most, like, that's the advice I give to everybody. Ask questions too.
Kuwa mama, tofauti ya kuwa mama Afrika na tofauti ya kuwa mama Marekani. Tofauti ya hapa Afrika tulikuwa tunalea mtoto, akifanya kosa unapiga fimbo kabisa. Mako unalokota fimbo na chapa kabisa, unapiga au chakula unamuima au unamfukuza. Sasa Marekani sio vile. Huwezi kupiga mtoto. Hata mtoto akifanya kosa huwezi mpiga. Kuna adhabu kidogo unaweza kumpatia, kusema kaa pale, lakini huwezi kumpiga mtoto. Huwezi kuacha mtoto kama vile Afrika tulikuwa tunaacha mtoto unaenda sokoni, unaenda kuuza vitu. Tangu asubuhi unaacha watoto nyumbani, unarudia jioni. Hapa haiwezekani.
Oftentimes I hear in the United States, children aren't disciplined. Children are disciplined in a different way. We absolutely want children to respect their parents. We want children to listen to their parents. Physical violence is not an acceptable form of discipline. And there's lots of different ways that you can discipline children. So the United States has a great deal of laws, and the expectation that people know what all of those are upon arrival is just that's not a very realistic expectation. So in our orientations, we actually start talking about the laws that we've seen clients have issues with in the past. So examples of that would be domestic violence. Domestic violence means violence in the home between members of a household. And that's a pretty simple definition of what domestic violence is. And having the understanding that it isn't tolerated to any degree here in the United States.
Either you renew your mind in order to adapt to this life, or it will bring you trouble in the home. I take an example, husband and wife. Most of the women coming from Africa, they stay home. They are stay-home moms, they raise children. In the United States, they have an opportunity to go to school, to work, and bring an income. And some of the men who have not renewed their mind, they will see that with a bad eye. That can bring trouble in the family. So we try to counsel the husband to renew their mind.
Mu gitondo ndabyuka nkuhagira abana, abakuru 3 bariyuhagira, nanjye abandi 3 nkabuhagira. Ubwo bose nkabasohokana, bamwe nkabageza ku ishuri, abandi nkabakatana n'amaguru nkabageza kuri deke, nkongera nkagaruka nkafata basi nkajya ku ishuri.
Majority of people who are single parents and they have to go to work, they take their children to a daycare. And so a daycare is a facility that will take care of their children during working hours. Usually children will be there from 8 to 10 hours a day.
Ikintu nababwira, kuko hariya turi ni mu cyaro kibisi cyane, kuko ntabwo tuba tujijutse cyane, ariko iyo ugeze aha ngaha ugira ubwoba muri wowe, ukavuga ati ubuzima sinzabushobora, kubyuka ujya aha, ukabyuka ujya aha, ukabyuka ujya aha. Ariko aho bigereye aha njye maze kumenyera n'undi wese nazamubwira akihangana kuko ubuzima bwo mu mujyi buragoye kubyuka ugenda ukabyuka ugenda ariko buhoro ugenda ubimenyera kugeza ubu njye ndumva bimaze kuba byiza sinki biroroshye kuko iyo maze gusohoka muri dekeya abakuru mbwira abakuru bafate barumuna babo kugira ngo hatagira ujya mu muhanda imodoka ikamunyonga kuko nanjye mbafite umwana mutoya.
Childcare is definitely one of the biggest challenges to self-sufficiency, especially for single mothers, obviously, but also families in general. And in the Congolese population in particular, we found that childcare has been a challenge to being able to attain a job and keep a job.
Hey. The expectation is that you will be working and you'll be providing for your family, paying for your rent, paying for utilities, paying for the food. And so really to be able to move and function within quality of life in the United States, employment is a huge essential part of that.
Agence nzanye nga muri Amerika yarandondeye akazi ndaronga akazi ku hoteli ndagenda saa 3 ndagaruka saa 9 cyangwa saa 10 ndagakuze kubera niko kazi kamfasha mu buzima kurera abana kuriha inzu akazi kose kubera ndushobora kwanga akazi kandi nibo buzima ubuzima bwanga muri Amerika na akazi ndakindi bwa mbere ngiye ko hakora nabonye ko ni akazi kakomeye kubera n'akazi nibo bwa mbere nagakoze sinakamenyereye ariko ubu maze kukamenyera kubera bwa mbere narakoze gushikaho ndashika muhira ndavuga njyewe uyu munsi nzofa sinshobora kuvyuka mu gitondo kubera ni kazi kakomeye. Ku munsi baguha chambre 200 ishambre imwe ibamo ibitanda 2 cyangwa 3 nibyo bitanda 3 byose ubisase kukuramo maburangeti ushiramo amashuka 3 iburangeti uheza hajya ukagenda mu bathroom koza handu hose kurano n'utundu twishi upangamo tumayisume 10 mayisume gute utabishobora kandi utabimenyereye kurana n'ama modele yo kugira amayisume kuvuga ko uyagire neza ingero ushobora kugira agashugwe gushaka umukiriya nabo bibone abone ko mwabigize neza ukasanga biga ndagenda ibimwe ndibagira ko babigira gukyo ndavamo ndigendera kubera ni byinshi cyane mu mutwe ariko ubu ndashimira Imana kubera maze kubishobora kandi ndanakimwe bimbwira no kubabara ndava hajya ndumva ko fise inguvu ndarakimwe bimbarira bwa mbere niyo byangoye gusa ariko ubu nashimira Imana nabishobora.
What we do here is we process glasses, we cut bottles, and they are being polished, ground, washed, and basically given the best product to the customers we can. We have several refugees in here at all times. They come in and they have a program and they're here for X amount of time. What makes them successful is they get confident, mainly confident on what they're doing and understanding they're doing something totally brand new they've never done in their life. And that brings their confidence up, so when they leave here, they're confident in any other job they're going to be working at.
I have yet to find a client that isn't willing to work hard. Most people come here having done jobs that are more manual than most Americans are used to. They're not afraid of hard work, and that's a good thing, and demonstrating that is important. The willingness to take on additional responsibilities on the job, not just do only the things they're told, but be proactive and say what else needs to be done. If they do that, there are more opportunities for them to get additional hours, to get a different job, to get promoted. Once they've had a few months of experience and have demonstrated these things, they can be looking for other jobs.
Moi personnellement, j'ai pas trouvé de difficulté pour l'obtention de mon premier travail et de mon second. J'ai trouvé ça avec facilité. Et déjà, la seule chose qui m'a compliqué un tout petit peu la tâche, c'était par rapport à l'intégration. Et quand je parle de l'intégration, je vois la facilité de la langue anglaise. Vous savez, moi, personnellement, je suis arrivé dans ce pays. Vous allez remarquer peut-être dans cette interview, je ne parle que le français. Il n'y a pas trop d'incursion de la langue anglaise. Pourquoi? Parce que c'est une des premières fois dans ma vie de parler la langue anglaise.
What job is this? Washing. Is it pushing in the chair? Okay. Erasing the board. I'm an ESL instructor, and at our center we teach about 7 different levels, including seniors, citizenship class, and work styles class. And for the past few weeks, we've been teaching housing. And so we've been talking about different chores we do in the home.
One of the responsibilities refugees have coming to the U.S. is they're required to take English classes. So right at the beginning, they're learning those skills, the English skills they need. But speaking English is not necessary for employment. Many of the employers we have multiple refugee clients on staff, so they'll have people that already speak their language on staff.
Everybody goes through the English class. We have 3 classes every week. It does get a little bit challenging on my part because they are trying to understand. A lot of it is just hand motion, and I have to show them, and then they learn.
We find that many of the employers that we work with actually are excited to have refugees on the staff and interested in what refugees have to say about the countries they came from, the culture in general. So it's a good positive experience all the way around.
When we came here, it was difficult for my family and I to live the good life in the United States. Because of English, I have to go to school to learn English. And I did. I learned English as second language at Truman College for 1 year. I didn't stop about learning only English as second language. And I took a test to go to regular college to continue to learn English. And I'm still learning English today. If you want to find the good job, if you want to find the good opportunity, go to school, learn English. No matter what you're going through, don't give up. Still learning English. To open my own account today in the United States, I have to learn English. I was working for Morrison Security for 4 years. I worked for many companies. I got skill. I got experience. Today, I provide job, security, and detective job for 50 people. That is great. I'm so happy for that. I opened my own business, which is Lion Eye Security and Detective Services.
Je suis serviteur de Dieu, pasteur ou apôtre, ici aux États-Unis d'Amérique. Pendant plusieurs années, et nous servons Dieu et nous recevons tous les bien-aimés qui arrivent de l'Afrique et puis partout, et nous les encadrons spirituellement. Nous avons des programmes pour recevoir les gens qui viennent, comme les réfugiés, et puis d'autres personnes viennent par divi. Et vous serez à l'aise parce qu'il y a une grande communauté qui est là, et même l'église, même la communauté de Congolais ou de gens qui se réunissent ensemble pour votre encadrement spirituel. Merci beaucoup.
The United States is a country of opportunities. You know, the refugees that are coming here to the country, you do not need to envy others. There is a time for everything. The way up is down. You start down and you go up. Anybody that has a good work ethic, if you work hard, you can have a good life. You can prosper in this country.
Pour moi, je peux dire d'avoir la patience, la foi, et tout ira bien.
C'est pas facile. C'est pas facile pour une personne de se réveiller à 3 heures du matin s'il n'avait pas l'habitude. C'est pas facile pour une personne de travailler à la rate, de travailler vite à la rate, pour y retourner à la maison, prendre soin de certaines heures du soir. C'est pas facile peut-être pour une personne après l'école, après le travail, d'y rendre à l'école, pour un certain programme de cours d'anglais, pour l'intégration facile aux États-Unis. Donc tout cela, ça demande de la volonté. La volonté, et quand vous en avez, vous arrivez à quelque chose aussi d'assez concret, je pense.
And some of us who got the chance to cross the other side of the bridge, we want to go to America, to come to America, not just to eat McDonald's, to eat hamburger, to work and stay home, work at Walmart and then stay home raising kids, but at least to be also contributing factor in this wonderful society.
For refugees who are coming over, they have to understand that we have a saying here in the United States which talks about the American dream, and we can achieve that, but we have to work very hard. Some people think that once I get in America, man will be coming from every corner and I will be rich all of a sudden. That doesn't happen, but slowly by slowly, some people can integrate and achieve whatever they want to achieve.
And we're gonna do the dance for unity. Amen.